This is a 2003 Subaru Legacy Outback Wagon, which is built on the 3rd generation model of the Subaru Legacy and was sold from the 2000 to 2004 model year. This generation of the Legacy was available in either a sedan or wagon configuration and was offered in 4 different trim package offerings. The base model was the L model. They offered the GT model, which was a sport-focused variant. This vehicle, again, is the Outback, which adds additional body cladding, slightly larger wheel and tire package, and additional ground clearance. And then the Outback is also available in an LO Beam configuration, which adds a number of nice luxury features. Now, I'm a huge fan of this generation of the Outback, not only because it's a really great-looking vehicle overall, but I like the fact that it came at a time when small SUVs and crossovers weren't all that common, and it really offered a great package that offered many of the best worlds of a car and an SUV combined into one. You're getting a vehicle that's got very good on-road driving characteristics. It's small and easy to drive, fairly decent fuel economy, and yet at the same time it's very spacious in the back, so you can put a lot of cargo in it. It's got an all-wheel drive system, so it's very capable in snow and ice, and it's got fairly decent ground clearance as well. Obviously not a true SUV, but it offers a lot of the benefits of an SUV while still maintaining car-like driving characteristics. And again, it's a really great looking vehicle. Because it's a Subaru, it is a little bit of a niche vehicle, so there's some things about it that are a little bit odd and quirky, but it's also a fairly conservative looking vehicle overall, and so I think it strikes a really nice balance of being unique while also being fairly normal. Now, I mentioned that the body cladding is one of the things that differentiates this from the Legacy model. You'll see that along the bottom here, where we've got this gold portion, the two-tone color configuration. So all of this lower plastic on the bottom is part of that Outback package, and then likewise we get a different bumper up front. Now, the main reason in terms of marketing for adding this is that if you're going down a trail and there's grass or brush or anything along the side of the trail, these panels are intended to help prevent scratching on the vehicle. Now, they do that to some level, but really the main reason for this is that it gives the vehicle a very rugged appearance, and it's really the thing that makes the Outback stand out from other vehicles on the market, and I'm a huge fan of this design cue. I also like the fact that it was available in this two-tone color configuration, again giving it a slightly more unique look than other options that are out there. I think it's actually kind of a shame that we don't really see two-tone colors on cars all that much anymore. Up here on the front of the vehicle, it's got a really nice clean front end, nice simple grille headlight design, and then we've got the fog lights down below in the bumper. I did mention that the Outback comes with larger wheels and tires than the Legacy. This vehicle's got a set of aftermarket wheels and tires, so it's not going to look like other models, but I also think it's a really great looking package. I love the fact that they went with the bronze wheels, which really blends in nicely with this lower body color, as well as the lettering on the Outback here. Really helps the wheels to just kind of blend in with that paneling. Not a wheel that I would have necessarily gone to myself, but seeing it on the vehicle, I think it looks really good. Now, the Outback's a really popular vehicle within the outdoor community. A lot of skiers, bikers, kayakers gravitate to this vehicle. And with that, we've got a roof rack that comes stock on the vehicle, integrated side rails and crossbars, helping to promote that active lifestyle and avoiding the need to add a rack after you purchase a vehicle. So that's a really great little thing that we get with the Outback. And then coming around to the rear of the vehicle, again, it's got a really nice clean rear end here. I like how we've got this single piece of plastic that goes all the way across the back here. This isn't really part of the taillight, but it ties things together and does help to kind of increase that visibility. And I like how the Subaru lettering is hidden back behind there. So really great in that sense. Of course, we've got our all-wheel drive emblem, which is standard among all of the Outback models. Overall, though, a really great looking vehicle. Like I mentioned, a little bit different, a little quirky, and then with the two-tone colors, it does stand out a bit. But overall, I think it's a really great looking vehicle. And the other thing that I love about this generation of the Outback is that it's more of a car and less of an SUV, like more current versions of the Outback. Looking inside the Outback, you'll see that it's got a pretty simple overall interior. Not a lot of added fluff, but it does have a pretty clean overall look to it and fairly decent build quality. I'd say that it's kind of middle of the pack, definitely not at the bottom, but not at the top either. As far as options, we've got power windows, power door locks, and power mirrors. So we've got some storage space built into the door here. This model comes with cloth seats, and then you'll see that the driver's seat is partially powered. To the left of the steering column, we've got our control for fog lights and cruise control. On the steering column, we've got controls for our headlights. Very simple instrument cluster. And then in our center dash up top, we've got climate control settings, heat and air conditioning. It's a single zone system. Below that, we've got our audio system. It's got AM/FM radio, CD, and cassette. A few storage compartments down below. 12-volt outlet down at the bottom. This vehicle's got the automatic transmission. So we've got our emergency brake and a cup holder in the middle here. Some coin storage slots. And then if we open up our center console, it goes down fairly deep. And then up above, we've got a manual dimming rear view mirror, some cabin lights, and a compartment for sunglasses. Back seat of the Outback is fairly spacious with pretty good leg, head, and shoulder room. You'll see that the center console's got 2 cup holders built in, as well as an ashtray. Give you a quick look up front from here. Driver and passenger seat have little mesh pockets built in. And then the seats do fold down in a 60-40 split, helping to increase that rear cargo space. They don't sit completely flat, but fairly good. And then those easily fold back up into position. And then coming around to the rear of the vehicle, you'll see that it's very spacious back here. A lot of cargo space, and the square dimensions of the Outback help to really maximize this space as well. This Outback comes with the standard 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine, which has 165 horsepower and is paired to a 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual transmission. The Outback was also available with a 3-liter 6-cylinder, which has 212 horsepower. EPA ratings on the Outback range from 17 to 19 miles per gallon in the city and 23 to 26 miles per gallon on the highway. Now, while the Outback's by no means a true SUV, the great thing about it is that it's still pretty capable with pretty good ground clearance and that symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Now, this road that I drove down, I would not even consider attempting in most front-wheel drive vehicles. But with an Outback, I feel fairly comfortable that I can get through it no problem. We've got some pretty deep puddles, some snow and ice, but because of that additional ground clearance and that all-wheel drive system, it can handle the basic back road like this, which is what most people are looking in terms of capability in their vehicle. Yes, there are those out there that want to be doing true, extreme off-roading. Obviously, the Outback's not the vehicle for that, but for most adventurous people that want to go down the, occasional dirt road, Outback's going to be able to do the job just fine. Vehicles like the Jeep Cherokee and the Ford Explorer and the Chevy Suburban get a lot of credit for kind of creating the SUV segment and leading that push from cars to SUVs. But I feel like vehicles like the Outback deserve just as much credit for that, because if you look at what most people are buying today, it's crossover SUVs. And in a lot of ways, the Outback was kind of a pioneer within this field. It's almost the original crossover SUV. It's a vehicle that's built on a car chassis, offering many of those benefits of a car in terms of being easy to drive, being smooth, quiet, and comfortable, fairly good fuel economy, and yet at the same time it's got that all-wheel drive system, it's got additional ground clearance, and so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. Now overall, the drivability of the Outback is pretty good, with the exception of a little bit of wind noise that comes into the cabin. The only area where I feel like the Outback really falls short is with the powertrain, and you'll see as we pull onto the highway here that it struggles quite a bit when equipped with this 4-cylinder engine. You hear those revs really picking up. We just hit 40 miles an hour, so it's pretty slow in that sense. Transmission can be a little bit abrupt too. Again, this vehicle is not intended to be super powerful, and I wouldn't complain about it, except that the fuel economy is not all that good either. And so you're not really getting a great balance of performance and fuel economy. But beyond that, really great vehicle to drive overall. And you can kind of solve that problem if you go to that 3-liter 6-cylinder. Helps with that power output a little bit, and you're probably going to find that it's going to perform a little bit better in those accelerating situations, driving over mountain passes, or passing on the highway. Overall, really great vehicle to drive. I'd say that the real highlight of this vehicle is the symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Gives it really superb handling, not only on dry pavement, but incredible capability in snow and ice. It's going to be a really good option for somebody that doesn't want a full-on SUV, but they want a vehicle that's going to handle pretty good in those inclement weather conditions and for that occasional trip down a back road. So that's the 2003 Subaru Outback. Overall, a really great vehicle that's going to be a good option for somebody that wants to balance the best of both worlds between a car and an SUV into a single vehicle. With the Outback, you're getting a vehicle that's easy to drive, it's fairly fuel efficient, good in snow and ice, it's spacious inside, and it's also got pretty decent ground clearance. On top of that, Subarus are legendary for their reliability and their resale value. A lot of really good reasons to consider the Subaru Outback. If you have any comments or questions on this vehicle, leave them in the section below. For more car reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.